The family from pre-K to 12th grade is 14 years that you go to school and you don't learn nothing about food, clothing, or shelter. You don't know how to sew, you don't know how to crochet, you don't know nothing about nutrition, you certainly don't learn about real estate. But you're supposed to function as an adult by the time you graduate. So you know it's a complete setup. And I'll also let you know this, that wealth begins at over $150,000 a year, and poverty begins for a family of 4 at $32,000 a year, and for an individual at $15,000 a year. So there's a whole $100,000 gray area between poverty and wealth, and only 5% of Americans will acquire wealth in this lifetime, but may not necessarily be able to obtain it or keep it. Think about that. Only 5%. It's 327 million people that make up America, the American populace that is, and only 5% of them will actually be able to obtain more than $200,000 a year, more than $150,000 a year. How about that? But over 90% of people will go to school, at least high school in their time. So what the hell have we been learning this whole time? You see? Now, when it comes time to buy goods from me, I say, hey, put up $2,000 and get access to $100,000 by way of credit. Because, oh, but what if my credit score is good? You don't know what good credit is. That's a misnomer. What does that mean? Well, first of all, when you ask a person about their credit, they say, oh, my credit score is, why are we talking in singular? What do you mean by your credit score? You should tell me what your credit scores are. That's one. Secondly, the only credit scores you mostly are familiar with is TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, and FICO. But you don't realize you have a traffic score. You don't realize you have a pharmaceutical score. I give you an example. Let's say a woman gets her breast done and she has to get some muscle relaxers, and they prescribe to her Percocets, and unfortunately Percocets is a popularly abused drug. So her pharmaceutical score goes down because there's a correlation between people that use drugs that's most commonly abused and debt or misappropriation of funds. People that have a tendency to use drugs like Valium or Percocets, these are people that have a tendency. There's a higher ratio that you have a problem paying your bills or paying your debts off when you use drugs that are popularly abused as opposed to drugs that are not popularly abused. How about that? Let's say you get a bunch of traffic tickets because you have a traffic score. So let's say you get running a light, parking violations, so forth and so on. Let's say you just get a whole bunch of crazy tickets. These are called traffic scores, right? And so they then get this data, consumer data aggregates, right? So the aggregation is all about finding out the predictability of the consumer. That's what this is about. We want to find out the predictability of the consumer. We want to be able to read the future before we even give them any money. So here it is with the traffic score. What would you give up if you realize you need your car to go to work all the time and your car is super important to your lifestyle? Let's say your car is in jeopardy because it got towed because of all your traffic tickets and violations. Would you be like, hey, what are you going to use if you ain't got the cash? You're probably going to use your credit card. And so people that get a lot of traffic tickets, they are more likely to go in debt or not pay their bills as opposed to people who don't get traffic tickets, because after all, these traffic tickets are miscellaneous bills. After all, these traffic tickets are miscellaneous bills. And so we realize, or they realize, there's a higher probability you won't pay your bills on time or off completely if you're the type of person, let's say, that needs muscle relaxers that's prescribed to you and you got traffic tickets. How about that? So you have over 30 other scores that they don't tell you about. Atmosphere scores, the likelihood of you dying because the atmosphere isn't healthy. So what I'm saying is when people say, hey, I got good credit, so I should be able to... Yo, you got people that got 750 credit scores, 800 credit scores, and still can't get approved for over $100,000. So miss me with my credit's good, so cut me a deal. What I offer to my good brothers and sisters is the lifestyle. You know why? Because people always crying, yo, you the only one making the money. I feel good when other people make money. Well, this is one of my students right here. He making bread. He making buku amounts of cash with me. Do you feel me? Oh, let's take a look at these kicks. Let's see if we get... damn, I gotta get the light on. Hold on. You feel me? This Rolls Royce Diaries, by the way. You feel me? Now, I don't want to hear shit about the white man's brand and all this other shit. Save that for another episode at another time. Bitch, as long as you know we making money, that's more of the story. Because the goal is to make sure you're making money too. That's the goal. My goal is to make sure you're making money. You can spend your money on whatever you choose to spend it on. If you want to buy $4,000 or $5,000 bags, knock yourself out. You feel what I'm saying? If you want to, you feel me? If you want to do it like this with the Louis V's and matching socks, knock yourself out. If you love your life with the doors of suicide, Rolls Royce Diaries, knock yourself out. You know what the fuck I came to do? And by the way, we don't close our doors. We got a button for that. We don't close our doors. So you can hit me at brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Only contact me when you're ready to spend money and get the job done. You don't need to tell us that, oh, next week I'm going to have the money. 3 weeks from now I'm going to have the money. What we do, we send letters and affidavits to credit bureaus and financial institutions alike for the purposes of removing negative items off your report, adding positive items to your report, boosting your credit score, and leveraging your newly found credit disposition, because credit is a form of status now, right? That's your new form of status. We leverage that newly found form or credit disposition, and we get you access to the bread that they've been denying you of this whole time. Here's another example. If you get a credit card, you're not supposed to spend more than 36.6% that of the amount of credit that they allotted to you. So in other words, if you got a $1,000 line of credit from a credit card, you shouldn't spend more than $366.66. You shouldn't owe more than that. You shouldn't even get up to that number. I tell people stay under 30%, but fine. Don't spend more than 36.6%. That's the marker. But did you know they treat you the same way with your bank account? And you know that's not fair, because a lot of you are living check to check. So in other words, let's say you make $5,000 in a year. A month. $5,000 a month. But by the time you handle bills and miscellaneous at the end of the month, your account only got like $500, $600, $700 in there. You're being held accountable for that disproportionate ratio, because they're expecting you to keep up a damn near 36.6% of that what you put in your account. So in other words, if you're making $5,000 a month, they're like, yo, listen, you shouldn't be spending more than, let's say, $1,700, $1,750. They don't want you spending that much money. So what I'm saying is that's not fair. So what you got to do, you got to contact LexisNexis. You got to contact Check System. You got to let them know, listen, I don't want my bank account activity being used to my disadvantage. See, these are things that people don't tell you, because when you go to school, they don't teach you about credit, but yet you're supposed to function as an adult. Did you know that if you had some debt coming and you didn't want to mess up your credit, you could contact TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax and tell them put your credit report on freeze? Did you know you could do that? In some instances, it might cost you $5. In some other instances, it might cost you $10. In most instances, it costs you absolutely no money. But you could put your credit on freeze so no reporting take place until you cover that debt that's about to come in. Imagine if you knew you could put your credit reporting on freeze, on hold, so you wouldn't have to be held accountable for the ensuing debt that's about to arrive due to your foreclosure, or due to your student loan, or due to your back due rent payment. Imagine. But we don't learn this in school. And people say, well, how come you know this and other people don't know this? I dropped out of school, so it's a great possibility. As I'm an autodidactic individual, I learn better outside the convention of a classroom forum. In addition to the fact I TTP and TTMP, which is to talk to people and after that talk to more people. There's a high probability that that's why I'm getting information that other people don't get. But by no chance am I just making this up and ending up right. It's because I talk to people, and after that I talk to more people. And I gauge, or I use my barometer to discern what's the right thing to do or what's not the right thing to do. Is predicated upon experience, ultimately. So anyway, I'm just showing you love. I'm about to do my thing. This is Rolls Royce Diaries. You feel me? Brother Polight. And, somebody was heckling me today. You making all this money, nobody else making money around you. That's a damn lie. It's just that I'm out there like that. I'm more popular than a lot of the people that's around me. So it happens to be that when I post a video, you see me. But, this is one of my brothers right here. He's on the rise. He got his $1,000 hat on. You feel me? He got over $1,000 on his feet, and that's a light day for my brother, and I'm proud of him. It's a very light day. It's a very light day. The weatherman say chance of rain is gonna be light. His drip very light today. He's only wearing $1,000 here and there and there. I mean, his belt's over $1,000. We ain't gonna go there. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just saying, it is what it is. I know my belt over $1,000 I got on, but we ain't got to check for that. We ain't judging. You feel what I'm saying? We ain't judging. Hey, you don't wear black-owned brands, they say, right? But at the end of the day, my shades is a black-owned brand, and I spent about $800 for these shades. Rihanna's brand. My headdress, almost $1,000. This is Keith and James, a black-owned brand. So you see, people talk shit, but I spend bread, and I spend good money. These niggas only buy a t-shirt from black people, and that's the end of the fucking world. I employ black people, I teach black people how to make money, and I spend high-end money on black people's designer clothes. Why are you telling me what to do with my bread? But you see, at the end of the day, when I take my pictures, oh, how come you can't patronize black people? Bitch, I am wearing black people's gear, and I happen to spend a whole lot of money on black people's gear. This hoodie is the white man's, and I spent like $20 on this hoodie to complement the rest of my expensive fit. But when it came to black people, I spent the real bread. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. Come on now. Come on now. I buy what I like. If I don't like it, I ain't gonna buy it. So when black people design some shit that I fuck with, that represents my personality, like these shades are groovy. Look at these shades. Shit is groovy. See, this is me. I'm on that type of time. I'm not on the conventional, hey, just wear blue jeans and some white uptowns and call it a day. And now you killing it. I'm not in that space. I'm in a different space. I don't like my shades being the regular circle. I don't like my headdress being the regular headdress. I don't even wear sneakers like that. I've always been like that. I've always been different. And it's okay. It's all right. It's okay to be different. I dare to be different. You know, I wear the headscarves here on the side of my pants. Sometimes I wear the headscarf on my head and tie it up. It depends how I feel for the day. But at the end of the day, none of that should really matter more than you taking care of your family. And like I said, it's a setup. Only 5% of 327 million people that populate America would even have the ability to make $150,000 or more per annual. That's crazy. And all of us been going to school or shul or hell to get that education or edited dictation. Because we at war, and that's why student means the stick, stab, prick, or poke. Talk to me nice. Y'all got to get into etymology. And ain't nobody giving you game like, yo, you can freeze your credit report so that way you don't get impacted by the ensuing debt that's about to come. Nobody does that. You hit me at brotherpolight45@gmail.com. I'll put it in the caption. Leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready to spend $2,000 to get access legally to your $100,000. Because what they don't tell you, you got the legal right to access $100,000 if you meet the proper credit criteria. And like I said, don't tell me, but I already got good credit though, because good credit is a misnomer. Because people are like, yo, my credit score. And I'm like, what credit score are you talking about when you say your credit score? First of all, there's many of them. And if that be the case, like I said, there's a bunch of people with 750 credit scores and 800 credit scores that can't get access to over 100 grand, 200 grand, 180, 220. They're not getting it because it's those other hindrances. Then you got the redlining where it's illegal to deny you of credit based on your race, but they could deny you of a certain amount of credit or credit totally based on your zip code. But races exist in clusters in zip codes, so they technically can alienate you or ostracize you based on your race per your zip code. These are the nuances. So this is why I tell people set up mailing addresses, like let's say with a UPS, because on credit report a lot of times they look at it like it's an office of residential. So if you get a UPS mailing address and you set it up in a zip code in a highly reputable school district, low crime rate, where the average income is over $200,000, it's going to look like you came up inside of 60 to 90 business days. Your credit score is going to go up anywhere between 50 and 75 plus. Talk to me nice. Just give me the game, you know. But people be interested in gossip more so than they be interested in making money. And this is why I had to step out of what they call the conscious community. Because I don't think it's conscious to know so much information and can't make the information applicable. How the fuck can you be conscious and still be broke? I don't fuck with that. And I don't fuck with people who think like that. So all those people are mad at me. But at the end of the day, let me show you the irony of behind these Negroes. They all are making money off of me by adding commercials to their videos when they talk about me. So it's crazy. I'm wrong for going out here to make money, but the irony is they got to use my name in order to make their money because that's as creative as they can get. Because while I was studying how to make the money, because I was embarrassed to go home. Let me tell you how embarrassed I was. To go home, my wife like, yo, he dropped the science of the pyramids. He said all the pyramidal structures around the earth is on the 32-degree line of latitude, the northern tropic of Cancer. He said that the pyramids at Khufu, Cafe, and Menku Are is aligned with the belt of Orion, Anitak, Anilam, and Mentaka. And he said the Milky Way is in alignment with the Nile River Valley, and that the Sphinx is in alignment with the Leo constellation. And with all that knowledge, I couldn't pay the fucking rent. But I was talking about how mathematically ingenious black people was. But I couldn't pay the fucking rent after I knew all this information. I could spend circles around people on just black history alone. I could talk to you about the Moors in Spain and what we did during the fucking so-called Black Plague. I could talk to you about the works of Theophile Binga, Sheikh Anta Diop, Jewel Pookrum, Francis Cress Wilson, John Henry Clark. I can go on and on with the people whose literature that I read, and I still couldn't make a fucking dollar to fucking pay my rent after I read all those powerful books by all those powerful people. Because nothing that I read really contributed to any of those things. Maybe it came close when I read Claude Anderson's book, Powernomics. Maybe it came close, former Senator Brother, who makes the effort to teach about economics. Came a little close, still ain't have the science, but put me in the right direction nonetheless. I sacrificed my youth studying so that my children would never feel the bitter sting of poverty that I had to experience. It wasn't all designed to get jobs. Some of us got peasant genes, so some of us gonna have to do that and be content. Drive Uber, let them beat you in the head, tear down your own fucking car, drive it for fucking hours, and make them convince you that, you know, you're living, let's say, what they say, as an entrepreneur. But it's cap. You ain't living as no fucking entrepreneur. It's cap. It's super cap. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the rest of these Negroes that'll tell you, you know, anytime a black man is doing something great or making money, he had to use somebody, he had to steal something. There's something he had to do that's incongruable. But they never could believe that, hey, you did it through your own genius. Because that's how low black people think of themselves, because they figure they have no talent, they have no abilities or capabilities, so they do that to other people. Real rap. Real rap. Everybody want to be rich. And what the fuck is wrong with that? That kind of mentality is why niggas is poor and ain't got shit. We don't got time for that kind of conversation. So anyway, you hit me at brotherpolight45@gmail.com. You spend your $2,000, get access to 100 grand, repair your credit, and make sure you stop being alienated and ostracized every opportunity you get. Again, you don't have to contact us and tell us, I'll be ready next week. You don't have to contact us and try to play the game to sound smart after you realize, hey, I ain't got the bread. I was just trying to talk to this nigga for a few minutes. Don't do it, because it's not fair to the other people that's ready to be in go mode and make this bread. Don't do it. It's not fair. It's not fair. And don't say a brother didn't come out his way, go out his way to tell you what the game is. I went out my way to tell you what the game is. I put the game out there. Because we be like to say, yo, niggas is making money, but they're not putting people on game. So our people are stuck. Stop saying that. Get your bread together and do your thing. And if for those of you that's like, yo, but I don't know, it's a lot of money. Did you feel like it was a lot of money when you bought them sneakers that don't appraise for nothing? Did you feel that way when you bought a fit cap that didn't do nothing for you? Did you feel that way? When they gassed you up to get the student loan, now you owe $80,000? You ain't say, yo, I had a brother say, yo, I'm putting a lot of faith, I'm putting a lot of trust in you. So brother, I said, yo, nigga, keep your bread. Keep that. If you going through all of that spiritually, keep your bread. Do your thing. Because you ain't do that with the white man when he beat you in the head and sold you a house that you couldn't afford, and he knew in 3 to 5 years you would go bankrupt. Because they already did the data analytics to know that you couldn't afford the property, and they worked hard to make sure that you'd be approved for a loan that you couldn't afford. Because they know, historically, based on your credit, ain't nobody trust you with fucking a $5,000 credit card. So how the fuck did you get approved of a $400,000 property? If you really got approved of a loan that's equal to the amount that your property's worth, how can they even put the cash in hand and allow you to buy the property yourself? Because the cash never existed until you start paying it back. They use real cash when you work off your labor to pay back the property. But them bitches ain't never show you all the money that they approved you of the loan for to get your property that you're paying back. Because the money never existed in the first place. But you trust these motherfuckers over your own people. You trust them. That's why I will not be denied. I don't let nobody talk to me stupid. I don't let nobody play no games with me, King. So when it be sound like I got an energy or an attitude, when I get a chance to talk to people, because I like to talk to people. But when it sound like I got a vibe, it's because I know my people very well. They let this beast talk them into things that they can't afford and fuck up their credit. When I look on their credit report, they owe $100,000 for this, $200,000, $300,000. I said, damn, bro, you must have been a millionaire. You never was a millionaire? So how the fuck are you in debt in six figures? Because the money never existed. The student loan you got approved of, the money never existed. The mortgage that you got, the money never existed. The only thing that exists is your fucking labor when you bust your ass and you get a check, and every time you pay them something, that money is real. That's the only real thing, your work. You a transmitting utility. We might have to put a lien on your transmitting utility. We might have to file a UCC1 financing statement. But that's that secure party talk. And you let these people tell it and they're going to think I'm spooking you out. So I'll leave it alone. But they ain't going to teach you about the Uniform Commercial Code in school either, even though it's the law that governs all secure transactions. Let me stop. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop because I'm going to just go on a rant and a tangent. And at the end of the day, people going to be like, yo, he don't give no knowledge for free. And that's just because a lot of this shit be going over people's heads. They don't even take the time out to just look up mortgage hypothecation. Look up QRP, a qualified retirement plan. It's a cash and tax deferrable compensation arrangement plan. Instead of getting them fish market, wonky ass fucking 401ks, traditional retirement accounts and shit that those Roths, yo, get you a QRP so you behave as a trustee to your own bread so you can take it out when you need to. And you can retire at an earlier age so you ain't got to be here retiring at 66, 67 to get more so-called benefits for your pension, knowing that your age expectancy or your lifetime expectancy is 72 years old as a black man. So they want you to work till you're 66 or 67 so you have 6 or 5 more fucking years left and you're dead. And guess who gets to keep all the money from your pension? And your life insurance may as well be death insurance because we haven't been educated enough to get whole life insurance policies that we could borrow against so we can make a profit and benefit from our insurance policies instead of the only benefit being when we die. But this is adult conversation because these pro-black brothers and sisters will beat you in the head for a hustle so they can sell you a goddamn DVD, sell you on a stream, or get some commercials added to their video. And they regurgitate the same thing from one year to the next, attempt to change the title. They're talking about the same shit every year. They live in the same situation every year, and they don't have no goddamn shame. But they hate on the only brother that's sitting here like, yo, I found a way to get to the bag. What they say, yo, Polight know too many things. So that nigga don't know nothing. One minute he dealing with holistic health and naturopathy. The next minute, yeah, I do comparative studies of monotheistic religions in retrospect to them being influenced by cultures of antiquity. That's why I used to tell people when I deal with debates, especially when it pertains to my literature, because I publish my findings as I actually, when I debated Negroes, I would go across the seas. I would go to Europe. I would go to Africa. I would take my own pictures, do my own translations, arrive at my own conclusions, publish my own works, and then do debates with excerpts from my own empirical data. Only to debate a brother who didn't have the resources and all he did was type in keywords on Google PDFs and you can see the yellow highlights for the keywords that he's using to combat me. I took with my craft to the highest level. Always have. And all I do is get disrespect. You know, these people will make out the crazy to be crazy when they really was the wise. And then the so-called wise would be the ones that's really nuts and ridiculous. I promise you, these people are freaking nuts and ridiculous. They're crazy. But let them tell the story. Something wrong with me. Let them tell the story. I shouldn't be with my babies. My babies speak multiple languages. Y'all see my 4-year-old was speaking 4 languages. She's now a beautiful young lady at 15 years old, playing 3 different instruments, still speaking 4 different languages, boxes, runs track, plays basketball. These people don't put that effort in. I homeschool my children. These people are crazy. And they're out here to make the sane and intellectual look like the ones that's nuts. A wild world we live in is enough to make you say, I don't want to deal with people, but I love my people enough, no matter how much they attempt to abuse me and disrespect me, mock me, condemn me, ridicule me, attempt to embarrass me, slander me, backbite me. No matter how much you give these Negroes, it's never enough. I done gave these Negroes places to live. I hear these Negroes, I can share text messages with Negroes asking me for money. I'm on my last. The very people that you look up to as leaders in this community call me for money, but never gave me no credit for my genius or what I've managed to learn when it comes to finance. Never took the time out to learn it with me, as though I ever turned them down, as though I ever even charged them. But they never thought twice to ask me for money, ask me for donations for shit they continuously do never erect, never come out with. These Negroes talking about stores and this, that, and the third, and everything they're going to create. I donate every time, hefty, on multiple occasions. But guess what happens? They never come out with anything they say they're going to come out with, ever. They never do. Never, ever do. But it is what it is. This is what we dealing with on planet Earth. This is what we got to deal with on planet Earth. People are trash, man. But I know some people are just amazing people, and we got to have patience for the amazing people that exist on planet Earth. And some of you are amazing, and some of you aspire for more. So how can we leave you back for a few knuckleheads that make the most noise? Because the people that's real about this, they don't do all the talking, they don't do too much commenting. That's just a fact. I took the class and I'm making hella money, no joke. Thank you, Devon Hudspeth. I appreciate you letting the people know. Thank you, sweet goddess, for saying I deserve my flowers. Thank y'all. Put in the comment section this beautiful love that y'all putting out there. But again, brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Leave your full name and your phone number, and let's get to it. If you're ready, you're ready. If you're not, it's okay. You ain't got to call us and tell us when you'll be ready. When you're ready, send your full name and your phone number and hit me up. Brother POLIGHT 45. I put it in the caption so you can keep in tune with the math. But, you know, we got a business meeting to head to. We don't play no games. You know we came here to do? Talk to me nice. It costs too much to be poor. And I'm too smart to be broke. And I want this to be your mantra. Every time you get up, tell yourself you're too smart to be broke. And it costs too much to be poor. Tell yourself this every day. Because all of us, for the most part, are the messiahs of our families. A lot of us in our family, we are the only ones in our family that actually took heed to the knowledge, got conscious, and wanted to do more. We're the ones that actually invest. Yo, our families be bugging. Most of you that's online right now are the only ones in the family that just think out the box and chose to eat different, drink different, live different, actually have goals that you held on to. You're the messiah of your family. And a lot of people ain't going to do shit until they see you got it done. But at the end of the day, don't enable them. Once you get it done, make them fucking work just as hard as you did to get there. Don't make them piggyback off you because you're not helping them. They should study when you study. They should grind when you grind. They should sacrifice when you sacrifice. And if they're not willing to do it, when you come the fuck up, the worst thing that you could do is just give them a pass. Because you're going to enable them until they push you back. You take 10 steps forward, they're going to bring you back 15 steps back. Because everybody want to get on, and everybody want PC when you eating. But nobody want to struggle and deal with the sacrifice. Breaking generational curses. We talking about wealth stewardship here. Generational wealth. Talk to me nice, man. I got so much I want to share about economics. I'm going to do another stream and go crazy. I'm going to go bananas soon. But blessings and abundance to the family. I love you guys. Talk to me nice. Rolls Royce Diaries, you heard? You know what we came here to do? Hey, you know what we came here to do? Rolls Royce Diaries. Suicide Doors. You dig? We ain't playing no games. Shout out to my homie Millie, man. I'm proud of you. Proud of you, man.
Appreciate you.
I'm proud of you.
Appreciate you.
You know, these bitches be, nobody else making money because they don't count. They don't. So I say, what about my wives? They making money. But that's your wives, so they nobody else. They're not other black people. Okay, so they say, what else? Ain't nobody else making money. What about my children? My daughter's about to be a millionaire in another month. But that's your children. Okay, she's not black either. Okay, fine. Then I say, I start showing my other students. Can we get his social security or something? Or his real ID and his address so can we get the title to his car to know that this is what they do. But all the while, never just ask for the knowledge. Never buy the course. Never pay for the service. They want all of this proof of what other people doing. I got millionaires and billionaires co-signing me on video. You know what a Negro told me? But I want to see some regular people that nobody knows. That's what I need to see to believe that. I'm like, bruh, if I do that, then you're going to say nobody knows them. So they could just be saying they're making money as part of your promotion. You can't win. So you can't do things, more of the story, to convince people or to try to appeal to their best interest, because people are Hebrew miserable lights. That's what I call them. They're miserable lights. Our people just be fucking miserable. I can't stand the miserable lights. Part of my language, I'm turned because I'm excited because some money got made, a significant sum with the Shiva, something I told people about months in advance. My students can let you know in the caption. I've been putting my students on to make these plays. We got the new website coming because, brotherpolight.com got hacked. Don't deal with it. And it's a black man that's over here collecting bread, knowing that you're not going to get access to the courses. This is just what it is with our people, man. We disgusting like that, but it's okay. I love and I appreciate you. I love and appreciate you. New website on the way. It'll be up no later than next week. And hit me up on the email, full name, phone number. If you're ready to get this bread, get access to 100 bands. You want the 9 income streams course? Hit me up, full name, phone number, and say, hey, 9 income streams course. Only if you're ready. That's $150. Only if you're ready to make this bread. If you're not ready, don't worry about calling and say, yo, I just want you to know I'll be ready tomorrow. Call when you're ready. Blessings in abundance. I appreciate you guys so much. I truly love my people. No matter how much I may look at certain things they do in this day, I just got mad love for y'all. This is Rolls Royce Diaries. Don't complain about how I spend my money. Make yours and show me, and impress upon my mind I need to spend it just like you. I ain't never complain about what other people should do with their money. I'm the type, I get it myself and I demonstrate. Word. But I love you guys. We gotta keep this nice and white. We ain't play no games. See that? Proud of everything. $1 million smile. As long as I got $1 million smile, I'll never be poor. You gotta understand what that means in spirituality. Blessings in abundance. I'm too smart to be broke. Love y'all, man. Word. I love the energy. It was crazy positive, man. I love it. Blessings in abundance.